Welcome to TTIH News, a division of Homeschool Today with Andrea Johns. I'm Barry Johns. Welcome to the broadcast. The date, April 7th, and this is Tuesday's Today in History. Breaking news, we're getting reports of some shady business in the city of Metz. Hannah, what can you tell me about that?
Well, Dad, in the year 451, a fellow named Attila the Hun, who was apparently the king cheese from 434 all the way until 453. In 451, he got greedy and decided to capture and plunder the city of Metz, a Roman stronghold at the time. Without anybody there to fight back, it was a massacre. Not satisfied, he then continued his attacks on other cities in Gaul. Just in case you didn't know, that Gaul is better known to the world today as France.
As always, great reporting, Hannah. So have you ever wondered how we came up with our measurement system? Andrea's on standby to tell us just about that. Andrea.
Well, Barry, in 1795, France adopted the meter as its official basic measure of length. Before 1795, France used a system of measure that had many of the characteristics of the modern imperial system of units. What does that all mean? Well, the gist is that France, England, and the United States had a chance to help define the metric units. England and the United States declined, and that is why we have a yardstick instead of a meter stick in U.S. classrooms to this day.
I wanted to report on this important story myself. In 1891, Nebraska's legislators established a law which defined a day of labor for those working in the mines to be 8 hours. After you work 8 hours, it was considered overtime, which needed to be paid at double the normal hourly rate. Breaking news, a volcano erupted in Italy in 1906. The name of the volcano was Mount Vesuvius, and when it erupted, it utterly destroyed many small villages near the city of Naples, Italy. The eruption covered the city of Naples with ash and made the roads near the volcano impassable. Residents of destroyed villages fled to Naples or to nearby towns. The eruption was followed by heavy rains that produced a massive mud-like slides of ash and water that buried everything in their path. Some sources reported at the time it was the most massive eruption since the great explosion that destroyed Pompeii back in 79 AD. Hey Andrea, what's going on with that Sun Yat-sen guy?
Well, Barry, that guy is known as the father of modern China, and in 1921, as a Chinese revolutionary leader, Sun Yat-sen was elected president of China. But even after the election, China was still divided into North and South and was controlled in parts by rival warlords for many years to come. Let's move on over to Noah now.
The year is 1926. Italian dictator Benito Mussolini was shot 3 times by Violet Gibson in an attempted assassination. Only one of her 3 shots managed to hit Mussolini. Moving ahead, a few years later in America, in 1940, the U.S. Post Office issued the first postage stamp featuring famed African-American educator Booker T. Washington. The stamp cost 10 cents.
Thanks, Noah. Now it's time for a community service announcement. We here at TTIH Network try to make these weekly broadcasts educational as well as fun. Starting in this week's episode, there's going to be a link below that will provide parents many tools so they can dig deeper into some of the topics we cover here today. It can be a great teaching tool that you can use in your home.
During the final year of World War II, in 1945, the Battle of Okinawa took place when the U.S. planes intercepted the Japanese fleet, who were on a suicide mission headed for Okinawa. The battleship Yamato and 4 destroyers were sunk by American forces.
The Irish Republic Army, known as the IRA, had 3 members die in 1972 when a bomb exploded prematurely. Originally, the IRA were Irishmen who fought against the British in the Irish War of Independence that lasted from 1919 to 1921. In the 1970s, they became active in bombing campaign on England, trying to get the British people to demand that their government withdraw from Northern Ireland. Their efforts failed, and to this day, Northern Ireland remains under British rule. Here's an interesting tidbit. In 1978, an original Gutenberg Bible sold for $2 million in New York City. That's the equivalent of almost $8 million today. That's a very expensive book. A good book, but an expensive one. Hannah and Noah, it's that time. Are you ready for lightning round?
In 1348, Prague University, the first university in Central Europe, was formed by Charles IV.
In 1509, France declared war on Venice.
In 1776, Captain John Barry, known as the father of American Navy, with his ship, the USS Lexington, captured the British warship, the Edward. Say that 10 times.
In 1788, the first settlement in Ohio was established at Marietta.
In 1805, Lewis and Clark left Fort Maiden to begin their journey to the Pacific Ocean.
In 1827, John Walker, an English chemist, invented the first wooden matches.
In 1862, General Ulysses S. Grant defeated the Confederate Army at the Battle of Shiloh in Tennessee.
In 1980, President Jimmy Carter broke all relations with Iran during the hostage crisis.
In 2016, the longest python ever found was captured in Penang, Malaysia. It was a whopping 26 feet long.
Do you like concerts? Well, I sure do. But did you know that there are concerts that raise money for good causes? Let me tell you about one of them. 30 years ago, in 1990, Farm Aid 4 was held on April 7th in Indianapolis, Indiana. Farm Aid started as a benefit concert back in 1985 in Champaign, Illinois. Its purpose was to raise money for family farmers in the United States who were in danger of losing their farms because of high mortgages and low crop prices. The concert was organized by Willie Nelson, John Mellencamp, and Neil Young, just to name a few. The concert has been held annually almost every year since it began, changing dates and locations throughout the years. The concerts have been a huge success and have saved many family farms across the country from being shut down forever.
There are some famous people from history with April 7th as their birthdays. Chaim Solomon, a Polish-born American broker who helped finance the American Revolution, was born in 1740.
Who doesn't love blues music? Rock and roll would not have happened without blues music. So let me tell you about a lady sings the blues. Jazz singer Billie Holiday was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 1915.
In 1770, the famous English poet William Wordsworth was born in Cumberland.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Okay, never mind. In 1954, martial arts actor Jackie Chan was born in Hong Kong.
History is fascinating. So many things happen every day all around us and have for thousands of years. You can discover more about interesting history that happened on this day or any other day by searching online or visiting your local library.
Please hit the like button at the bottom of the screen. It's what keeps us making these videos. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that little bell so you'll be among the first to know as new videos are released.
In the famous words of Confucius, our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in rising every time we fall. Until next time, happy homeschooling! Bye!